And good evening. Welcome back to JPC Spiritual Talk. It's Jared Campbell. So, breaking point: Trump targeted by sniper's bullet. Discussions on possible American Civil War 2.0. We're going to discuss more World War III updates. This evening, we're going to talk a lot about Trump. We're going to watch a lot of videos. We're going to see a lot of photos, right? There are some of these sources that we're going to be looking at this evening. I got a complete breakdown of key points, critical points, everything that I have observed from all the sources I have read. So it's going to be very detailed. But before we get into that, I'm going to start out with a very quick prayer. And we're going to ask our Lord, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to ask Christ, my God, without you, I can do nothing. Please help me with this task I'm about to complete. And always keep me as the apple of your eye. And I pray this in your holy name. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and forever. Sages. Amen. Beautiful. All right, so let's jump into this. So I'm going to get the screen shared over, and we're going to look into some videos, some pictures. So I'm going to give a kind of a quick summary, right, in case you don't know, and many of you probably already do, right? So those of you who don't know, right, during a rally in Pennsylvania, former President Donald Trump was targeted in an assassination attempt. The gunman, whose at the time, his identity and weapon details remain undisclosed, was shot dead by Secret Service agents. Trump, although wounded, miraculously survived, sustaining an injury to his ear. Videos and photos depict the chaotic scene, with Trump shouting "fight" before collapsing, reactions and responses. So let's look at some of these videos in here. We're going to go through many of these sources.
We see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move.
Go. Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Down. Shoot down.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
We're good to move.
Clear.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. Shoot down.
Watch out.
Wait.
So we can see he sustained an injury to his ear, right? Some reports are saying he never was shot. Some are saying that he was nicked by glass, but there was no glass around. So depends on who your source is, right? Marco Rubio, he said, God protected Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy, grateful to President Trump to his sacrifice, grateful to God for protecting him. Some of that's in my commentary. Let's take a look at this video. some people are reporting whether this was legit or a psyop. I don't know. What some of you think, right? We'll get to my commentary in a minute. I just wanted to show some of these videos, right?
Oh, we see Donald Trump there at a rally in Pennsylvania. You can see his face. There's blood coming from his ear. Not exactly sure what has happened, but those are Secret Service agents trying to pull Donald Trump off the stage. He's pumping.
All right. So go out. Let's go to the next one. All right. So confirmation, War News 24/7. A sniper tried to assassinate Trump with a shot from 125 meters. 2 dead, 1 injured. Questions about the attitude of the police. You know, we'll get to my commentary in a minute, but things are very interesting at this moment, right?
And watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
Binoculars.
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
That was the dead sniper, right? That was the dead sniper. I don't know how many of you have seen that one or not, but that was indeed the dead sniper.
Someone who was here, you weren't inside the event,
right,
but you were just out.
That's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
We need to evacuate everybody.
The photo of them dragging off the dead sniper. Trump, excuse me. Trump Tower in New York, currently on lockdown. Right. All right, so let's move on. Right. Get to as many videos as I can, then I'll get right to my breakdown. right? So I just wanted to show some of you some of this if you have not seen it. All right, so the millimeters that changed the course of history. Trump, I felt the bullet tear my ear. See the moment of the gunman's execution. The bullet went through the top of my right ear. Okay. So breaking, Trump released from hospital after assassination attempt. Okay. Look at that. Zoom in. Right. That wasn't from glass. Right. There's certain sources reporting that he was cut by glass. It wasn't glass. Right. Let's see this angle.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
What the fuck?
Breaking, Biden speaks to the nation. All right, so let's move on to my commentary, right? So the incident has garnered significant attention and reactions. So Republican senators like Marco Rubio and Vivek Ramaswamy praised divine intervention for Trump's survival. J.D. Vance and Mike Johnson called for prayers for Trump and those affected. Even Democrats, such as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, condemned the political violence and expressed relief at Trump's safety. Trump's allies, former Vice President Mike Pence and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and others shared their support and well wishes. Elon Musk expressed his full support for Trump and wished him a speedy recovery. We'll talk more about Elon Musk later on, right? So Stephen Chung, Trump's communications director, reported that Trump is under medical observation. We know that he's been released now, right? And thank law enforcement for this swift response. The Secret Service confirmed that Trump is safe and that an active investigation is ongoing. Broader implications. The incident raises concerns about political violence and the impact on the stability of the United States. It underscores the high intentions and potential for conflict within the country, fueling speculations about the possibility of civil unrest or even another civil war, right? This event is a stark reminder of the divisive political climate and the needs for measures to prevent further violence. The assassination attempt on Donald Trump highlights the volatile nature of current American politics. I think so. While Trump's survival is a relief to many, the event underscores the urgent need for addressing root causes of political violence. The nation's leaders must work towards fostering a more peaceful and secure environment, ensuring that political discourse remains civil and that such violent incidents do not reoccur. So what are some of my key points? Assassination attempt on Donald Trump. A sniper fired shots at Donald Trump during a rally in Pennsylvania, narrowly missing with a bullet grazing his ear. Eyewitnesses described chaos and confusion as Secret Service agents react swiftly to shield Trump from further harm. Casualties in immediate aftermath. Tragically, 2 individuals are reported dead, including the gunman with another critically injured. Video footage shows the immediate aftermath, with scenes of panic and Secret Service agents rushing to secure the area. Political and international responses. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were briefed on the incident, expressing relief at Trump's safety and condemning the violence. Leaders from around the world, including British Prime Minister, have denounced the attack, emphasizing the need to reject political violence. Security measures and public reaction. High security measures are being implemented at Trump properties, including Trump Tower, right? Just showed that, New York City. The incident has sparked a wave of reactions on social media, with messages of support and condemnation flooding and from political figures and the public alike. Other key points on who is behind the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. Okay, Russia, right? And the only reason why it comes to mind, right? Because I remember we talked about Red Orchestra, right? And so the General Dynamics plant, that factory that was blown up, right? So we talked about Russians' espionage, right? So I'm going with objective facts here, right? So could Russia be behind it? You may ask, why would Russia be behind assassinating Trump? Well, it's really about being strategic, right? And listen to this. By creating a civil war here in America, right, could disrupt what we're doing in Ukraine, right? But that doesn't mean that Russia's behind anything, right? It's just objectiveness, right? And now we talked about Zelensky the other day, right? And remember what Zelensky said? He says, I don't know what Trump will do if he's reelected. Let's not wait for November. We must act immediately. So it could be a coincidence, right? But these are just some objective things I want to throw out there on who could be behind the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. Some are saying it could be legit. I've heard even some already on YouTube say it could be a psyop. You know, our own government. There's going to be, the sky's going to be the limit, right? So other key points. Assassination attempt on Donald Trump. A sniper's bullet nearly missed Donald Trump during a campaign rally, right? We talked about the immediate responses, details from law enforcement, right? The U.S. Secret Service confirmed that the perpetrator of the attack was neutralized by a sniper shortly after firing the shots from an elevated position. Tragically, one spectator was killed and 2 others were seriously injured during the incident. Political reactions and public outcry. The attempted assassination has ignited widespread condemnation of political violence across the political spectrum. Calls for unity and enhanced security measures resonate as the nation grapples with the attack's implications. So, as we kind of go through this, right? This one's very interesting, right? And it leaves a lot to really, really ponder on right now. Oh, man. But I think America's in a bad spot, right? I'm going to listen to something from a friend of mine in Ukraine. He's living in Ukraine right now. We're going to listen to a little message he sent me. And so we're thinking about talking more about what happened with Trump. So here's a voice message.
Jared, the reason why I don't want to do it now is first, it's 3 a.m. for me. I'm not worried about the time. What I think about is that at some point there's going to be a power cut. So I have 2 or 3 hours of no power. This goes in a rotation, 2 or 3 hours of no power, then 3 or 4 to 5 hours of power. So basically we should plan it around when I have at least an hour or 2 of power. And I don't know when it will be cut. So that's one reason of why. If I had steady power, and that this is with this rotating controlled blackout, it's nothing to do with Russia. But what happens is I can speak more fluidly without being cut off by no power at some random moment between the first and 20th minute. And that, because usually around the 2nd or 3rd hour, I know it will be cut. And sometimes it lasts for 5, but they do this like that. Regardless is at the end of the day, that's why I don't want to do it now. I want to plan it. And it's not that I don't want to plan what to say. I know what I can say about Ukraine, about culture, about whatever. But what I'm thinking about is that, it's, even though I'm more libertarian, it's a thing that, you know, something has to wake people up. And I don't mean a War III, but, I'm telling you, probably in the next 50 years, at least 50 years, there's going to be a civil war. I know it will happen. If you look back to like 1820s, like 1830s, the seeds of the Civil War started in the 1820s and 1830s with the Mason-Dixon line and a bunch of other things, okay? If you look at everything now, you're looking at the seeds of a civil war. But it just needs to take 50, 60, 70 years. It needs to ferment for another generation or two, possibly a third generation. But I'm telling you, it's my prediction. It will happen. It will happen. And this is a boiling point event. This is what this is. Because, I mean, there was even a few assassination attempts before Lincoln, which were not successful in that. But it was towards candidates, if I remember correctly, in that.
All right.
And like that, there is no power, just like I was saying. So if I was to go live,
but we're gonna
like randomly now,
and so we're gonna get. So
there would be no power. I just lost power 1 minute ago.
On what happened with Trump.
So it's
and then
4
we're gonna move on
right now.
We're gonna get out of here for this evening.
So either
here's kind of my closing remarks on this.
7 in the morning
Donald Trump
or
a chilling moment
8 in the morning. It will come back on. One of the two, not
underscoring
6.
How fragile,
because it never comes back on 2 hours later. It's always
the
3
swift response by
or
Secret
4
Service
or
agents
5 hours
undoubtedly
later.
prevented a
So
potential
possibly
tragedy.
9 in the morning.
Yet the
too.
incident raises
So
troubling
like
questions
that.
about the security
And
protocol
they
and the
will
prevalence
stop
of
this
political
power
violence.
cut stuff.
Internationally, the
I
condemnation
think
has
in
been
like
swift
a month or 2
and
in that,
unanimous,
because
with leaders
they have a
across the globe
schedule and
advising
it's
the
very
imperative
public in Ukraine.
of peaceful democratic processes. From Washington to London, the unified message is clear. Violence has no place in political discourse. As investigations unfold and security measures intensify, the repercussions of this event will ripple through the upcoming presidential election and beyond. It serves as a stark reminder of the stakes involved in safeguarding democracy and the imperative of fostering civil discourse. And that's why we're going to be talking more about a possible civil war, right? I mean, I was listening to my buddy, and I want to kind of bring more of this on my channel as well, more of these type of discussions, right? As we see political violence keep ramping up, right? It just adds more to our discussion. But as we continue, right? So in other news today, so the German army, right? So the German army pull it up. All right. So op plan deal. So the German army has drafted an op plan deal, a detailed contingency plan for a possible war with Russia. This plan, developed with input from military and civilian experts, focuses on internal security, critical infrastructure, protection, militia deployment, and national territory defenses. It also includes provisions for the rapid movement of NATO troops through Germany, involving up to 800,000 soldiers and 200,000 pieces of equipment, critical elements. The pieces of equipment, critical elements of op plan DU. Troop movement. The plan highlights the critical role of the Alpha 2 highway for troop and equipment movement, with specific attention to the Hodroth Bridge and the Elbe River as potential bottleneck. Logistical support. Germany's main task is to provide NATO troops with essential supplies, requiring the exclusive use of road rail and port infrastructure for military purposes. Civil defense. Measures include converting underground spaces into shelters, preparing hospitals for a large influx of wounded, managing food rations, planning evacuations, and potentially reintroducing compulsory military services. Infrastructure security. Ensuring the safety of critical routes like Alpha 2 motorway will require coordination with the police and civil services with a contingency plan for alternative routes. Reactions and responses. The op plan DU sparked significant discussions and concern. Military officials have improvised the comprehensive nature of the plan, covering various aspects from internal security to national defense. Media reports. Some media outlets confirm the existence and details of the plan, highlighting the extensive preparations and the challenges they will face through logistics. Broader implications. Such a detailed plan underscores the heightened tensions between NATO and Russia and the serious consideration of a potential large-scale conflict. The preparations outlined in the op plan deal reflect Germany's strategic importance and NATO's defense posture and the logistics complexities of mobilizing and supporting a massive military force. The detailed and robust nature of op plan deal illustrates the scale and the seriousness of the preparations of potential conflict with Russia. This scenario, involving the rapid deployment of hundreds of thousands of troops and extensive logistical support, points to the possibility of a broader, more devastating conflict that could escalate into World War III. The plan's focus on civil defense measures also highlights the potential impact on civilian populations, further emphasizing the far-reaching consequences of such a war. I conclude, the release of op plan DU reveals the extensive planning of the German army and NATO for potential war with Russia. This plan underscores the gravity of current geopolitical tensions and the serious consideration of a large-scale conflict. The comprehensive nature of the preparations from troop movements to civil defense highlights the potential for significant global instability and the risk of World War III. As such, international leaders must seek diplomatic solutions and avoid escalation to ensure global peace and security. Right? But what does the Bible say about peace? If they say peace and security comes what? You're told your total destruction, right? Always stay objective to the sources. All right, let's talk about Elon Musk. Some of you probably already know about this. So Elon Musk's significant donation to Donald Trump's election campaign marks a pivotal moment in the current U.S. political landscape. Musk's financial backings comes at a critical time when the Democratic Party is experiencing internal divisions over President Biden's candidacy for another term. This move by the world's richest man could influence the outcome of the upcoming presidential election. Context and impact. Musk's donation. Bloomberg reported that Musk substantially contributed to the Political Action Committee supporting Donald Trump, although the exact amount remains undisclosed. Sources indicate it is significant. I bet it is. Political influence. The donation is notable, given Musk's history of donating to both parties and his relatively modest spending on presidential elections. His support for Trump signifies a decisive shift in his political stance and could considerably impact the election. Democratic Party tensions, internal divisions. The Democratic Party is currently facing internal strife, it's true, with some members calling for President Biden to step aside while others continue to support him despite dwindling donations. Biden's performance. Musk has openly questioned President Biden's ability to fulfill his duties, highlighting concerns about his age and mental state. This has fueled ongoing debates about Biden's capability to serve another term. Elon Musk's broader influence. Public statements. Musk has issued his social media platform, X, formerly Twitter, to voice his opinions on the U.S. presidential race, engaging in debates and openly criticizing Biden's performance. Censorship and allegations. Musk recently accused the European Commission of offering a secret deal to censor tweets, which he claims X rejected. Right? This accusation reflects his broader concerns about free speech and the integrity of social media platforms. Potential consequences shaping the election. Elon Musk's financial support and public statements could sway public opinion and voter behavior, potentially shaping the election outcome. I think so. Now, strategic moves. By supporting Trump, Musk is making a move that aligns with his vision for the country, including promoting free speech and questioning established political norms. Right? I conclude, Elon Musk's intervention in the U.S. presidential race, through a substantial donation to Donald Trump's campaign and public criticism of President Biden, underscores his significant influence on the political landscape. This move reveals his support for Trump and highlights ongoing challenges within the Democratic Party. As the election approaches, Musk's actions and statements will likely continue to shape the narrative and impact voters' perceptions, potentially altering the course of American political history. All right. And as we get ready to close, right, Bloomberg reported, just talking about, once again, we're going to talk about Turkey. Remember, I said a while back in one of my videos, Turkey has been acting weird, right? And they have been. So Bloomberg, Turkey cuts F-16s, Eurofighters against Greek Rafaelis. Aeroplane prepares for the eagling. So as Bloomberg reported, a strategic shift in its military aviation procurement signals significant changes in its defense posture and potential implications for regional dynamics, especially concerning Greece. Turkey's president and his administration is maneuvering to alter the terms of the $23 billion agreement with the U.S. for F-16 fighter jets while exploring alternatives like the Eurofighter Typhoon. F-16 agreement modifications, original agreement. Turkey was to receive 40 new F-16 Viper fighter jets and upgrade 79 aircraft to Block 70 version. Revised terms. Turkey seeks to reduce the number of aircraft and the modernization kits, focusing on cost saving and increased domestic production involvement. Eurofighter Typhoon considerations. German ban. Germany has blocked Turkey from acquiring Eurofighter Typhoons, which has been a point of contention. Diplomatic efforts. Turkey's president has urged German Chancellor Olaf Scholz to lift the ban, seeking support from UK and Spain, who are trying to convince Germany to allow the sale. Response to Greece. Turkey's pursuit of new aircraft is partly in response to Greece's acquisition of the Rafaeli fighters and the anticipated F-35s, aiming to maintain a balance of power within the region. Broader military needs beyond aircraft. Turkey is also negotiating for other critical military technologies, such as turbines for its warships and components for its nuclear plant. So Turkey's efforts to revise F-16 agreement and explore alternatives like the Eurofighter Typhoon reflects a strategic need to modernize its air force amid regional tensions and international economic constraints. This move, driven by Erdogan's administration, highlights the complex interplay of military needs, financial realities, and geopolitical alliances. The outcome of these negotiations and acquisitions will significantly influence the balance of power and the broader dynamics within NATO and the EU. All right, that's all I had. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for following. Let me know some of the things some of you want me to talk about. Right? You want to know more? Or you want to have these discussions about Civil War, things like that. Things that we can objectively look at, right? Let me know, all right? I hope you enjoyed today's video, today's breakdown. I have a lot more in my write-up, so please look for the link, right, in the description box and click on it because there's a lot more in the write-up, right? I went through really key points tonight, right? But thank you all again for following. This is JPCE Spiritual Talk. Never, ever hold back, guys. Never, ever hold back, right? Things are happening, right? Things are heating up. Right? The world is in a bad place, but there's no need to live in fear, right? Get good information, but don't live in fear, right? Be careful of some of the things you're hearing too. There's a lot of YouTube channels that are refiltering old news. And what I mean by old news that's like 3 years or older. They're like recycling, trying to make it sound like it's happened recently, and it's not. So be careful of that, right? But I love you all so much. I'm out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed evening. Thank you all again for following.